Hi guys, welcome back, or welcome to my channel if you are new. We are doing my November TBR and you will be surprised at how few books I have. So as always, first up we have the jar. This is where I have my 12 books, 12 prompts. Last year, I'll link it around somewhere, I asked 12 of my friends to pick prompts and a book for my Goodreads wish list. I'm doing that again this year. I'm excited to see what my friends pick this year, but I've only got 2 more left. And I don't know who is who and what is what, but you're going to find out today. Well, this one is. Oh, this must have been Gem. Okay, so, fun story. Person was swapped out for reasons, and Gem, I wondered why there was in a different colour. I'm like, I didn't, what is this? But, yeah, so this is from Gem, and the book is Check Please, and the prompt is roll a 10-sided dice, and the last page needs to end with that number. Wow. So Check Please I don't yet have. I can get that, that's not a problem. That's a cute queer graphic novel as far as I remember. And rolling the 10-sided dice, what I'm probably going to do is show you my books first and then roll the dice after. I don't know if I have a 10-sided dice, but if I do, I will roll it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, one of the books that I'm reading has a number that ends the last page. The last number of the last page is that number. We're gonna try. I'm going to give you my obligatory reads first, and then move on to 2 readathons I'm taking part in. Yes, only 2, not 5, not 4, just 2 this month. And the reason being is that I have a lot of filming to do in November. I'm going to try and get the majority of my Vlogmas videos filmed in November and edited. So it's going to be a lot of time spent on my computer, not that much time for reading. So for me, this is going to be a relatively small TBR, she says. First up, the Readalongs book, which this is smaller than I thought it was. They do get bigger as they go, but this is a Dark Shade of Magic. This is the book that was selected by you. We put a poll up on the Twitter and in the Discord to find out which series you wanted us to start next. This just won out, so I'm really excited to dive into this. Again, this is a reread for me. I was going to get rid of my floppy paperbacks when I got the hardbacks, because I do have a special edition hardback, or well, the collector's edition, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to tab this. Because it's a reread, I think I'm just going to get some tabs and some transparent notes, because I'm going to have a lot of thoughts on this on a reread. I just know I am. Next up, it's All About Fantasy book club that I run with Chelsea and Kate. We are taking a break from the series because we didn't want to do anything in December, because obviously Christmas and a lot of people are very busy within that period, and also we do want to leave November free, as like we didn't want to just skip 2 months, because we're coming to the end of the Chorus of Dragons series. So what we did was put a poll up on Twitter and asked which standalone fantasy you were all interested in reading, and Sword of Kaigan won. This is a chunky read, this is a purely physical read as well, and the writing is tiny. So another reason why my TBR is not that big is because I'll be reading this physical read along with another physical read, which is going to be obligatory read that we've got to do, and that is Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare. This month is Bane Chronicles, and again, this is a chunky one. It is split down into stories, so it might be an easier quick read, but I probably will have to tab this as well, because it's obviously different stories. not just one continuous plot line, and we're going to be discussing this in the live show. These two are purely physical reads and they are chunky, and on a month where I'm not reading a lot, this is going to be a lot for me to read. As far as obligation reads go, I think that's it for now. I think. Now, come January, there will be a few extra ones on there, and you will know why. But I'm really excited to let you know that I am taking part in 2 readathons. I have lots of tickets. What I did was, so, how cute are these? Can we just appreciate the effort that Chloe went through to, she's literally done 60 prompts, 60 of these little tickets that she hand drew and then like hand wrote and then scanned, and she's just so much effort. And she's been planning this for ages, and Meg helped her out with the prompts, obviously, because if you don't know, November is West End Readathon month, and it's hosted by Chloe from Persistent Bookworm. She's a theatre lover. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? So, who else would be better to do a theatre-related, theatre-themed readathon than Chloe? What I'm going to do with this is I've taken out prompts for that I don't think that I will fulfill. I was going to initially try and do like 30 books and cover all 60 prompts and try and like match them up, but that was just too much. And again, like I said, November's a heavy filming month for me, so I've taken out the prompts that I don't think I'm going to be able to fulfill, and if it changes, it changes. If it doesn't, then we'll just stick with these. And I'm just going to try my best to fit these prompts into what I'm reading. And I'm going to try and at least get 1 prompt per book that I'm reading. So if you want full details of how the readathon works, I will link Chloe's video down below. But the basic premise is 60 prompts, 60 musicals. She's also giving you recommendations of which songs to listen to for each prompt, which I think is great. So the prompts are related to a musical, and all you need to do is either watch a slime tutorial or go and watch a theatre show or listen to a song from the theatre show in order to be able to read that prompt. For instance, the musical is Cinderella, the prompt is a moving book, and the recommendation for a song is I Know I Have a Heart. So I would either listen to a song from Cinderella or go and see Cinderella, and in order for me, and then once I've done that, I can then read a book that will fulfill that prompt. Chloe explains it better than me. I do know that Sword of Kaigan will probably fulfill this prompt, because I have been told that Sword of Kaigan is a very emotional book. So straight off the bat, I can pick something that fits that. Next one I definitely know will be able to fulfill is The Lion King. The prompt is an animal companion, and the recommended songs are I Just Can't Wait to Be King and He Who Lives in You. And this is going to be fulfilled by Blue Exorcist Volume 2, because there's an animal companion in Blue Exorcist. So that is going to be a cute little manga that I can pick up to break up the rest of my reading. I'm lying, I totally forgot about another obligation read. It's a podcast book. Oh god. I was just looking at this prompt now thinking I had a book that fulfilled that, and yeah, I did. I just haven't told you about it. It is A Forest of Vanity and Valour by A.P. Beswick. This is the podcast book for Barely Adult Podcast, hosted by myself and Jem. We will be starting a buddy read of this, and a buddy read of all the books going forward. We've created Discord, so we can have some chats and get some recommendations from you guys as well, so you can be a bit more interactive with the podcast. That'll be going live shortly. Hopefully it'll be live by the time this video goes out. If not, ta-da! We've got a Discord. The next one is And Juliet, and the book is a retelling. So we have options for this one. So I could just listen to a song from this, or and read a book earlier in the month. The book that I was going to read was obviously Forest of Vanity and Valour, because it's a kind of like Robin Hood-esque book, and I'm gonna I'm going to be stretching this prompt to fit that. I don't know if it's a retelling specifically, but it's kind of like Robin Hood-esque, so I'm going with it. Or I could wait till near the end of the month, wait till I've actually seen Anne Juliet, because for Meg and Chloe's birthday, we're going to London and we're going to see Anne Juliet. So I could wait till I've actually seen the show before I read the book, but either way, this prompt will be getting fulfilled. And another two that I definitely know that I will fulfill. The musical is Sunset Boulevard. The prompt is an older character, and then they've got some song recommendations. For that one, I'm going to read All the Feels by Olivia Dade. I read Spoiler Alert a few months ago. I loved it. I'm gonna get that on audio again, I think, and just listen to that whilst I'm moseying around doing other things. And then the next one is Singing in the Rain, and the prompt is a Sunshine Book. Now, if you've heard over the last couple of months, I've been mentioning this author a lot. Thank you, Meg, for the recommendation for the author and the book of You Deserve Each Other. Please, if you want a contemporary that's not a typical person meets person, fall in love, typical third act blip, and then everything turns out alright at the end. It's a slightly different take on a contemporary. Read You Deserve Each Other. You're welcome. And she has another book out. It's Twice Shy. And literally, the first sentence of this blurb is, Mabel Parrish lives with her head in the clouds. So for me, this is going to be like a Grumpy Sunshine, I'm guessing. Because she is sunshine if she lives with her head in the clouds. And that's what I'm saying for that prompt. There's another book that I would like to get to next month. And whether I do or not will wholly depend on the space that my head is in. And this is I'm Glad My Mum Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I am going to see if Jen wants to buddy read this, because she also has it, and Meg also has this. I don't think Meg's read it yet either, so I might see if the girls want to buddy. Is it Jen that has it, or is it Meg? It might be both. It might be neither. I don't know my own brain right now, but one of my friends has this as well, so I might ask if they want to buddy read it next month. I am ready for the pain. I've mentioned this again in my vlog clips before. There's a couple of clips of conversations that she's had about this book and about her mother and how she treated her, and Jesus, a lump in throat, tears to eyes. That was just watching her discuss a tiny part of this book. It is small, but I just know that the breakage of the heart is going to happen. You all know that I'm a pretty emotional person anyway, so sorry if you can hear really noisy things in the background. My window in my living room doesn't shut properly, and I totally forgot that that was a thing, so sorry. And also my hair, forgive the hair. And I said I was taking part in 2 readathons, and I am. And the other one is Once Upon and Readathon. It was brought to my attention by the lovely Dominish Books, but I'm sorry, Dom, as soon as I saw there was a witch team, I had to join the witch team. Don't hate me, but it had to be done. So I will leave Dom links down below, and I will also leave the original, the creator of the readathon. She's called Hannah. Her channel is Hannah Blackwell. I will leave her link down below as well. But basically, there's 5 steps to this readathon, and the prompts are quite vague. I'm just going to briefly go through them with you, and then I'm going to let you know as I go throughout the month what books I'm going to be using to fulfill those prompts. Again, I will leave the original alpha video down below of what the readathon is about, the rules and whatnot. But basically, you have 5 steps, and you have 3 prompts that you can fill to get through each step. And then there's a hard mode for each prompt that gets you extra points for your team. First step is research the history of the apple tree, because a question to get to the apple tree, obviously. So the first option is a book featuring royalty, a retelling, whether that's fairy tale, folklore or myth, or a title that includes Once Upon a or Time. I've just read The Ballad of Never After. I kind of want to go back and reread Once Upon a Broken Heart. Why? Because I can. So I might choose that, or if any of the indie books I need to read for the Indie Ink Awards I'm a judge for, I will, if any of them fit in there, I will try and use them instead. Stephanie Garber has my heart at the moment. She has me in a chokehold. I don't know what's going on in my life. So, the next one is Find the Map to the Apple Tree. So you have to read a book with a map, a book that you recently acquired, a book with red, orange, yellow or brown on the cover, and the hard mode is that two of these, the other book has two or more of these colours on the cover. Once again, I am reading quite a few indie books next month, hopefully, and 99% of the indie books that I have read in the past have some kind of map in them. I do also still have to read The Exile, and by good old Ryan. That's a little novella, so that could possibly be one of them. The next prompt is Gather Companions. There's a book with romance, a book featuring family, or a new to you author. Hard mode needs to be a debut author. I could a book featuring family and a new to you author, and I could get the hard mode points for this one. I think Sword of Kaigen is Emma Wang's debut novel. I might be lying. If it's not, I apologise. That could be that on that. We'll see. The next one is Quest for the Apple Tree. So a book with magic, a book with a historical setting, or a book over 300 pages. The hard mode for that is a book over 450 pages. I read a lot of fantasy. There's going to be fairly positive that in one of the books I'm going to read next month, there's going to be some magic, and there's also going to be a likelihood that it's above 300 pages with the amount that I read for the fantasy. I think what I might do is try and finish Discovery of Witches. And the final prompt for this readathon is Climb the Apple Tree. It's a book featuring a conflict, a poll pick, a book featuring an unlikable or morally grey character, or the hard mode is the main character is the villain. Okay, so for this one, a book featuring conflict, a poll, I could do it as a poll pick, you know. Oh, Chloe bought me books 2 and 3 in the Popular series, and I know there's conflict in there, and I know that the main character is morally grey, and some see Rin as the villain, and some see her as the villain. So if I did a poll pick, just being like, do I read the second book in the Popular series, yes or no, the likelihood that the people that follow me will say yes, because I don't know anyone that doesn't like that series. I could do that. If you watch this video and you see that poll, click yes. I'm just going to quickly go through some other books that I would like to read this month, and I'm going to try my best to get to. If I don't get to all of these, it's not going to be a problem, because I'm just trying to think. As I mentioned earlier, I am a judge for the Indie Ink Awards. Yes. So there are a few books that I would like to get to. So the first one is Bloody Spade by Brittany and Willows. I have had this on my Kindle for ages. It gives me anime manga vibes. The characters just gives me that whole vibe, and I've really wanted to read this for a while. The author kindly sent me a review copy of it before I was a judge for the Indie Ink Awards, so it's been on my Kindle for a while, and I do need to get through some of these Kindle books. So the next one is a short story, which is 5 Silver Rings by Zach Argyle. Zach Argyle wrote The Voice of War, and I gave that 5 fucking stars. All of the feels were felt with that. So, and it is only a short story. I don't know how many pages precisely that it has, but I mean, I wanted to dive right back into that right now. Yes, I am, but we can't, Lisa, we can't. The next one is Merchants of Knowledge and Magic by Erica McCorkle. This is a full-length novel. The next one is Second Saturn Left by Megan Van Dyke. It gives me Peter Pan retelling vibes. I haven't read the synopsis on this because, again, I've just been... Oh! I've literally just, like, skipped a few pages. It says, Van Dyke's action-packed debut puts a sexy adult spin on Tinkerbell and Captain Hook. Could we class sexy spin as romance? Could we class it as a retelling? Possibly. Methinks that might be a choice. Okay, now that I've seen that, I am even more excited about it. So the next one is Birthright by M.A. Weiss, and this is part of the Impividus cycle. And can we just appreciate that whole spooky vibe of a cover? We're gonna take spooky season right up till Christmas at this point, aren't we? We are. The other books I've got to read are Ghost River by Chad Ryan. It does have content warnings, but I'm all about that base. Give me a dark fantasy and I will just snap it up. The next one is Heroes, and this is a book that's been edited together by multiple people, and again, it gives me very much Greek myth vibes. Like, can you see, like, the numerals? Can you see that there? And then we've got a standalone novella. It actually says standalone rough novella called Vietato. The last option is Prince of the Sorrows, and that is by Kellen Graves. The urge to pick up Vietato and Prince of Sorrows is real, okay? So, I'm going to show you. It is literally called a rough love novella, and the quotation thing, the quote at the top is, "For you I'd break every rule." And that is the cover for that one. Look. Can we say queer? Is this going to be queer? Can you see that? I think it is going to be queer. And I'm all about that base. So, we have a few options for ebooks to read. This is the first time in a very long time that I've not literally just shown you a stack of like 20 books that I need to read. These are not, other than the book club picks and the read along picks that, you know, by the Angel Along and Trouble Along, there's no books that I have to read other than those that I mentioned right at the beginning, and obviously the one that I forgot, which was a podcast pick. The other books are sort of to be worked. The Indie Ink Awards books don't need to be completed until February, but this just gives me a bit more of a free rein to read books that fulfill the prompts rather than trying to get the prompts that fit the books, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is sit down, have a look through the West End Readathon prompts and try and see if I can find some books that will fit them all without me going into like 20 books. Because as much as I've loved all the reading that I'm doing this month, it's been a lot. And it's not left me time to do much of anything else. Thank you very much for joining me on this journey that we call life. And I will see you all in the next video. If you like this hair that is just a mess, if you like this mess of a human being and you would like to see more of this human, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I try to upload every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. It may change from week to week, but generally that's what I try and do now. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but we don't mention when it doesn't happen. See you soon.